any other alternates who wish to join from programming, they are welcome to do so. Colleagues, welcome so much to the Budget Committee meeting today. Today we are dealing with the votes of the Western Cape Adjustment Appropriation Bill that came from the different committee meetings. Colleagues, if you can just introduce yourselves, and then I'm going to ask Ms. Kamish, Ahmad, and Ms. Kruta to start putting up the votes for us for consideration.
Chairperson Ricardo Mackenzie.
Chairperson Kayla Murray.
Thank you, Chairperson Khalil Bankais.
Morning, Chairperson. Morning,
Thank you so much. Ms. Kamish Ahmad, if you can then just please put up our first document. Okay, colleagues, just a reminder, we're going to go through every vote, and the reason we're going through every vote is just to make sure that it has been is procedurally correct, and then we will go to the bill. We will then consider the views on the bill, on which we will then adopt our views on the bill for consideration by the House. Okay, Ms. Kamish Ahmad, let's start with vote 1.
Sorry, Lizette, I kicked you out.
Yes, I know. I somehow cannot view my PDF docs. But I'm going to try to screen vote 1 now. Okay, we'll see my screen. Maybe vote 1. I'll do vote 2. I'll just see what the problem is from my side.
Okay. Sorry for that now, Chair. We had it already.
No problem.
Okay, so we've got that. Lizette, I can do 2. You can just do 3. Just vote 1, Chair.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Okay, colleagues. The report of the Standing Committee on the Premier and Constitutional Matters on Vote 1, Premier in the schedule to the Western Cape Adjustments Appropriation Bill B3/2022, dated 28 November 2022. The Standing Committee on the Premier and Constitutional Matters reports that it has concluded its deliberations on Vote 1, Premier in the schedule to the Western Cape Adjustments Appropriation Bill B3/2022, referred to the committee in accordance with Standing Rule 188, reports that it supports the vote referred to it. In terms of Standing Rule 90, the African National Congress expressed its minority view to not support the vote. If you can just go down so that we can see the signature. And it is signed by Chairperson Fry. Thank you so much. Vote 2. I'm not going to repeat the first paragraph because it's the same for every vote, and the only difference is it includes the respective vote name, but I will repeat the second paragraph. The Parliamentary Oversight Committee reports that it has concluded its deliberations on Vote 2, Western Cape Provincial Parliament in the schedule to the Western Cape Adjustments Appropriation Bill B3/2022, referred to the committee in accordance with Standing Rule 188. Ms. Kamish Ahmed, can I continue?
Sorry, Chair. Someone's asking to join the meeting. I'm trying to get the link for them, so I just opened up the wrong.
That's fine. Can Ms. Kruta send it to them so that I can just continue reading the votes, please?
Okay.
Because you are screening it on the screen for me at the moment.
Okay.
Okay. Referred to the committee in accordance with Standing Rule 188, reports that it supports the vote referred to it. In terms of Standing Rule 90, the African National Congress expressed its minority view to not support the vote. Signed by Chairperson Maseko. If we can go to vote 3, please.
Lizette? Do you want me to do 3? Not sure where Lizette is. It's fine. I'll just do vote 3.
Okay, this is vote 3 on finance, economic opportunities and tourism. The Standing Committee on Finance, Economic Opportunities and Tourism reports that it has concluded its deliberations on vote 3, Provincial Treasury in the schedule to the Western Cape Adjustments Appropriation Bill B3/2022, referred to the committee in terms of Standing Rule 188, and that it supports the vote referred to it. Minority view in terms of Standing Rule 90, the African National Congress and Al Jamal expressed its minority view to not support the vote. If we can go down just to see the signature, please. Thank you so much. Signed by Chairperson Murray. Vote 4, please. Report of the Standing Committee on Community Safety, Cultural Affairs and Sport. The Standing Committee on Community Safety, Cultural Affairs and Sport, having deliberated on the subject of vote 4, community safety in the schedule to the Western Cape Adjustments Appropriation Bill B3 2022, referred to the committee. In terms of Standing Rule 188, reports that it supports the vote. In terms of Standing Rule 90, the African National Congress expresses its minority view to not support the vote. Signed by Chairperson Bosman. Thank you so much. Vote 5. Vote 5.
Can you see vote 5, Chairperson? Education?
I think it's just loading still because it's a white screen by me.
It's showing on my side, Chair.
Maybe just try unshare and share again, please.
Are you able to?
Thank you so
vote now?
much. Yes, I can. Thank you. Vote 5, Education. The Standing Committee on Education, having deliberated on the subject of vote 5, Education, in the schedule to the Western Cape Adjustments Appropriation Bill B3 2022, referred to the committee in terms of Standing Rule 188, reports that it supports the vote. In accordance with Standing Rule 90, the African National Congress expressed its minority view to not support the vote. Signed by myself as Chair of Education. Thank you so much. Vote 6. That is not vote 6. That is vote 14 on local government. Thank you. Vote 6, Health. The Standing Committee on Health, having deliberated on the subject of vote 6, Health, in the schedule to the Western Cape Adjustments Appropriation Bill B3 2022, referred to it in accordance with Standing Rule 188, reports that it supports the vote. Minority view. In terms of Standing Rule 90, the African National Congress and Economic Freedom Fighters expressed their minority view to not support the vote. Signed by Member Chairperson Kaiser Philander. Thank you so much. Vote 7. The report on social development, vote 7. The Standing Committee on Social Development, having deliberated on the subject of vote 7, social development in the schedule to the Western Cape Adjustments Appropriation Bill B3 2022, referred to it in accordance with Standing Rule 188, reports that it supports the vote. In terms of Standing Rule 90, the African National Congress and Economic Freedom Fighters expressed their minority view to not support the vote. Signed by Chairperson Plato. Thank you so much. Vote 8. Vote 8 on human settlements. The Standing Committee on Human Settlements, having deliberated on the subject of vote 8, human settlements in the schedule to the Western Cape Adjustments Appropriation Bill B3 2022, referred to the committee in accordance with Standing Rule 188, reports that it supports the vote. Signed by Chairperson Maseko. Thank you so much. Vote 9. This is the vote on Environmental Affairs and Development Planning. The Standing Committee on Agriculture, Environmental Affairs and Development Planning, having deliberated on the subject of vote 9, Environmental Affairs and Development Planning, the schedule to the Western Cape Adjustment Appropriation Bill B3 2022, referred to it in accordance with Standing Rule 188, reports that it supports the vote. In accordance with Standing Rule 90, the African National Congress expressed its minority view that it does not support the vote. Signed by Chairperson van der Westhuizen. Thank you so much. Vote 10. Vote 10 on Transport and Public Works. The Standing Committee on Transport and Public Works, having deliberated on the subject of vote 10, Transport and Public Works, in the schedule to the Western Cape Adjustments Appropriation Bill B3 2022, referred to the committee in accordance with Standing Rule 188, reports that it supports the vote. In accordance with Standing Rule 90, the African National Congress expressed its minority view that it does not support the vote. Signed by Chairperson Mackenzie. Thank you so much. Vote 11.
Is it?
Thank you so much. Vote 11 is agriculture. The Standing Committee on Agriculture, Environmental Affairs and Development Planning, having deliberated on the subject of Vote 11 agriculture in the schedule to the Western Cape Adjustments Appropriation Bill B3 2022, referred to it in accordance with Standing Rule 188, reports that it supports the vote. In accordance with Standing Rule 90, the African National Congress expressed its minority view that it does not support the vote. Signed by Chairperson van der Westhuizen. Thank you. Vote 12.
Share.
Vote 12 is
I'm
economic.
sharing it.
Thank you. Vote 12 is on economic development and tourism. The Standing Committee on Finance, Economic Opportunities and Tourism reports that it concluded its deliberations on Vote 12, economic development and tourism, in the schedule to the Western Cape Adjustments Appropriation Bill B3 2022, referred to the committee in terms of Standing Rule 188, and that it supports the vote referred to it. Minority view in terms of Standing Rule 90, the African National Congress and Al Jamaa expressed its minority view to not support the vote. Signed by Chairperson Murray. Vote 13. Thank you so much. Vote 13 on Cultural Affairs and Sport. The Standing Committee on Community Safety, Cultural Affairs and Sport, having deliberated on the subject of Vote 13, Cultural Affairs and Sport, in the schedule to the Western Cape Adjustments Appropriation Bill B3 2022, referred to the committee in terms of Standing Rule 188, reports that it supports the vote. In terms of Standing Rule 90, the African National Congress expressed its minority view to not support the vote. Signed by Chairperson Bosman. Thank you. Vote 14, local government. To the Standing Committee on Local Government, having deliberated on the subject of Vote 14, local government, in the schedule to the Western Cape Adjustments Appropriation Bill B3 2022, referred to the committee in accordance with Standing Rule 188, reports that it supports the vote. In accordance with Standing Rule 90, the African National Congress and Economic Freedom Fighters express its minority view that it does not support the vote. Signed by Chairperson America. Thank you so much. Colleagues, with all of the respective votes then thus tabled in the committee, if I could then ask for views on the totality of the Western Cape Adjustment Appropriation Bill, please. Member Mackenzie.
Thank you, Chairperson. I fully support the bill as tabled today, all the bills, the full report.
Thank you so much. Member Mackenzie has moved that we adopt the bill. If I could have a seconder.
I second Chair, Kayla Murray.
Thank you. Member Murray supports. Member Nkondlo.
Yes, Chair. As the ANC, we would like to call on our on the minority view of the ANC not to support the bill.
Thank you, Member Nkondlo. I just want to check because Member Mvimbi is also in the meeting. Is Member Mvimbi tabling the vote as the permanent member that's in the meeting at the moment?
Thank you very much, Chairperson. I think if Honorable Kondo is in the meeting and is raising it, I think there's nothing wrong that prohibits her in the rules to raise a view.
No, I'm just checking Member Mvimbi because when two members are in the same meeting, then the member who's the permanent member is the one with the authority to move the vote. So I was just checking. Are you then moving the vote?
In terms of voting, in terms of the view, he can raise it.
Okay.
But then if we are going to vote, I'm going to vote in according to with what she's saying.
Okay, no problem. Thank you so much. Member Brancais.
Thank you very much, Chair, and good morning to everybody again. Chair, yes, the Al Jamaa also want to state our view that our minority view that we are not in support of this budget, as this budget will only fuel the inequality here in the Western Cape, which is already a pandemic, and this budget will only cause the inequality to grow and many people to suffer. 6 to 7 million people to suffer here in the Western Cape. Thank you very much, Chair.
Thank you, Member Brancais. I will take that you're starting early with your debate prep. Thank you so much. Ms. Kluter, you can assist. And just for the record, I support the bill. Okay, we'll make it bigger. The report will then thus read as follows, and we can just put the minority views in quickly, please. Thank you so much. Colleagues, I will now read the report for adoption. Report of the Budget Committee on the Western Cape Adjustments Appropriation Bill B3-2022, dated 29 November 2022, as follows. The Budget Committee reports that it has concluded its deliberations on the Western Cape Adjustments Appropriation Bill B3-2022, referred to it in terms of Standing Rule 188. Having considered the various Standing Committee reports on the votes in the schedule to the bill, the committee reports that it supports the bill. Minority view in terms of Standing Rule 90, the African National Congress and Al Jamaa expressed its minority view to not support the bill. Colleagues, if I could have a mover that the report is a correct reflection. Colleagues, I know that it's been
Yes, Chair.
it's going to be a thank you so much, Member Mackenzie. Can I have a seconder for the report?
I second, Chair. Kayla Murray.
Thank you so much. The report is thus adopted. Ms. Kamish Ahmed, I just want to check if there are any specific matters we still need to deal with.
Yes, Chairperson, there's 3 sets of minutes.
Okay, if we can just deal with
The
those minutes
21st.
then quickly.
Okay.
Thank you so much. 21st of November, if I can just check the attendance. Thank you. If no edits, and if you can just change from Mr. Bartman to MS, because Mr. D. Bartman is my father. Thank you. I'm sure that he would be very impressed if he was chairing the budget committee, though. Colleagues, if I could have a mover for the minutes with the
Chairperson.
amendments. Thank you, Member Mackenzie. If I could have a seconder for the minutes.
I second, Chair. Kayla Murray.
Thank you so much. The minutes are so adopted with the edit that I am indeed Miss Bartman. The next set of minutes, please. 22 November. Just check attendance there. Okay. Wonderful. If I could have a mover for the minutes, please. Colleagues, if I could have a mover for the minutes,
I so
please.
move, Chair.
Thank you, Member Mackenzie. If we could have a seconder for the minutes, please.
I second, Chair. Member
Sorry,
Murray.
Chair. Sorry, Chair.
Thank you, Member. Yes, Member Nkondlo.
My apologies. I think I got delayed to unmute myself. I wanted to check in this minutes, Chair. I think in the last sentence says the motion of Member Mackenzie was upheld, and the motion of Member Mvimbi was I just forgot the term used. I just want to understand. Was dropped. Yes. What does that mean?
It's when you don't have a seconder, then it falls away.
The seconder
So
of
for
what?
example, today Member Mvimbi had a seconder because Member
No, in
Branca is also
in
voted
relation
no.
to the minutes. In relation, I'm not
Yes.
asking in a general sense. I'm meaning
Yes.
in that specific meeting. What motion
Yes, that's what
of
it's
Member
saying.
Mackenzie was upheld, and what motion of Member Mvimbi was dropped?
Regarding the bill, if you just move up, you will see it regarding the negotiating mandate. So when there's more than one proposer for the bill, if someone moves the bill, if someone moves to support, then that person is the mover to support. Then when this person says seconding, then you have someone who has supported your motion. If there's someone who opposes, that person obviously say, I don't support the bill, for example. And if that person doesn't have a seconder, then the motion drops and so on. Remember, Ms. Kamish Ahmed, am I correct in that regard?
Chairperson, it's there was a motion that was dropped, and then 3 members were in favor, and then there was 1 member that was in favor of the not supporting. So the motion with the most votes, basically, and then the other motion drops.
Thank you so much. Member
Chairperson.
Nkondlo, are you satisfied? Yes, Member Nkondlo? Sorry, Member Mvimbi?
Yes, Chairperson, man, I'm glad that Honorable Nkondlo has raised this issue, because I'm also struggling because I'm using a phone instead of my laptop. When I use my laptop, I can see everything. There were some of the minutes I know that I have an Honorable has been attending on my behalf, and I have been informing.
Ms. Kamish Ahmed, for this particular set of minutes, was Member Mvimbi in the meeting? And did
No.
Member Mvimbi for the
Now,
22nd?
I see then I don't know that was the way I was not, because there was some I was not there. No.
Okay. Ms. Kamish Ahmed, can you then just check this for us, please?
Chairperson, can I assist?
Member Mackenzie?
For this meeting, Member Vimpi was there. The other meeting, Member Nkondlo attended that meeting.
Okay. Ms. Kamish Ahmed, if you can just check for us, please. But I also recall Member Mvimbi being in this particular meeting.
Chairperson, Member Mbumbi was at that meeting. He was not at the negotiating mandate meeting.
Thank you so much. Member Mvimbi, does that clarify?
Colleagues,
No, thank you very much, Chairperson. I'm still not convinced. I just need to check my records where I know that I have been sending them to you, but it was 1 minute I swear it was actually itself. The people that have attended is Honorable Nkondlo. Ne?
No,
But then
no,
when I
Member
see on
Nkondlo
the
is in
thing,
that
just
meeting.
Yes, but then how could they have I? Because I know, but as I said, Chairperson, let me check my records, because I know I have been consistently to you and also to Honorable Nkondlo as well. We just have to exchange notes, me and Honorable Nkondlo, because I know most of the time she has been attend. I have not been at. If I attend, I wouldn't actually even attend fully. You know, so I just need to double check that, because I have been very, very busy the past couple of.
Okay, what I'll do is I'm going to ask Ms. Kamish
including this
Ahmed just to
week.
keep the
So
minutes
I
of
have not been
22.
it's not been really up to scratch.
Member Mvimbi, I'm going to ask Ms. Kamish Ahmed that for the 22nd of November's minutes, because this is the 21st of November, Ms. Kluter, you can take that down. We've already adopted those. For the 22nd November minutes, I'm just going to ask Ms. Kamish Ahmed to check them, and then we keep them aside for the next meeting then.
Thank you so
Is
much.
that in order? No problem, just so that you can make sure that that is accurate. Ms. Kamish Ahmed, the
Chair.
next set of minutes, please.
Chair,
Yes,
Chairperson,
Member Nkondlo?
yes. Can I be allowed, as a person who raised the matter? I was
Yes.
asking what the motion that was dropped. I got the point you are trying to resolve about attendance. I was not asking attendance. And I'm asking the motion that was dropped, what is that motion? Because my clarity that I'm seeking, how I've understood the minutes or record of such a meeting, is that when there is a committee has resolved on a position in the meeting, such gets to be recorded as a position of the committee. Unless I've not been reading the minutes properly, I've not seen before. So I wanted to understand if now you record when a motion is supported by many of the members, as it is said, the explanation, and then you say another motion was dropped. Is that motion supposedly to be written in so that we know? Because remember, minutes are about recording what was discussed. So when you say a motion was upheld, in my view, that motion must be explained. What is that motion? And the one that is dropped, what is that motion? Instead of saying a motion of member Mackenzie was upheld and the motion of member Mvimbi was not supported. So that is what I was asking in as far as the recording of the minutes.
That's fine. Colleagues, on the same page in front of you, it says there, and I'm going to read from the same page that the words motion dropped is from. I'm going to read from the exact same page. Mr. R. Mackenzie moved that the committee not support the bill. Mr. Mvimbi moved that the committee support the bill. Motion of Mr. R. Mackenzie put. Ayes 3, Murray, Mackenzie, Bartman. Noes, Mvimbi. Motion of Mackenzie supported and Mr. Mackenzie supported and Mr. Mvimbi motion dropped. The motion dropped is at the end after the voting, but what we are supporting or not supporting is at the beginning before we even table the amount of votes per vote. So what we are supporting or not supporting is there in the minutes on page 1 on the exact same page, referring to the final mandate report for the committee. And Ms. Kamish, I've even put it now in highlighting so that everyone can see that it is there on the page. Is everyone happy? Can we please move on to the third set of minutes, please? Thank you. Let's move on to the third set of minutes. Thank you. 24 November, if everyone can just check the attendance there. Okay, we can go down. Okay, that page 2 then. Okay, if there are no edits, if we could have a mover for the minutes, please. Colleagues, if we could have a mover for the minutes.
I move, Chairperson.
Thank you, Member Mackenzie. If I could have a seconder for the minutes.
I second Chairperson Kelamari.
Thank you, Member Murray. The minutes are so adopted. Ms. Kamish Ahmed, is there anything else that we need to deal with today? Or
Chair,
that I forgot?
That concludes it. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you so much. Colleagues, I want to say thank you so much for what has been a jam-packed, fun-filled finance festivity year, where I do believe the Budget Committee has been on quite a mission to make finance fun again. And I want to thank every single member of this committee, whether permanent or alternate. I know many chairpersons are also permanent alternates also on these budget committee meetings. And I thank you for the work that you've put in this year. I think we've done a lot that has never been done before, and we are continuing to make inroads in making budgeting fun. And I just want to say, please go rest during the recess period, go see your families, go read to your children, go sit on the beach, go read a good book, and come back refreshed in 2023, ready to continue the fun-filled finance festivities. With that, the meeting is adjourned.